Hi everybody, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Welcome to our July Bake-A-Tale program. And I'm sorry, I'm a little croaky this time. I think I got a summer cold, so bear with me as I tell you about this month's Bake-A-Tale. So Bake-A-Tale is a program where there's something for you to bake at home with your family. There's some crafts that you can do at home that are kind of connected with the baked good, and there's some books because we're the library. We always want to tie in books too, but this week, or this month rather, we're going to be talking about rainbows and stars and Rainbow Shortbread Cookies. There are two ways to do these shortbread cookies. You can roll them out like this, and then there'll be colors of the rainbow all lined up together, or you mix all the dough together, then you get more of this kind of tie-dye color. So either way, it's pretty and it's colorful and yummy cookies. The recipe for the shortbread cookies, the Rainbow Shortbread Cookies, you can make stars, you can make whatever you want, whatever kind of cookie cutter you have at home. But the recipe will be in the kit. The names of the books will be in the kit. The materials to make the crafts will be in the kit. And to get the kit, you can just come down to the children's room and pick one up at the library, or you can always just call us and we'll be happy to bring them out to your car. You can pick them up through curbside service and you don't even need to come in. But if you're not able to come in, you can always email us at kids@adamslib.org, and I'd be happy to email you the recipe and the instructions for the crafts. But the books this month are about color and rainbows and stars. So this first one is called Vivid Poems and Notes About Color by Julie Pashkus. This one is Rainbow Crow, retold by Nancy Von Lahn and illustrated by Beatrice Vidal. And this last one is A Big Mooncake for Little Star. Here's Little Star, and here is her big, giant mooncake. Oh, and here's her mooncake after it got a little bit smaller. But the poem colors, or the color poems, could be either way. There's poems about beautiful yellow, happy orange, fiery red, all kinds of different colors. We are coloring our world here for summer reading, so this is a great book to read and make you think about all kinds of color. And it even has some information about colors, like where they came from, how we developed them, what they look like, all good stuff. Now this one, it's a retelling of a Lenape Native American tribe story about Rainbow Crow, because that is how crow used to look. If you've seen crows now, you know they're the ones who say, caw, caw. Rainbow Crow used to sing beautifully. Rainbow Crow used to have these beautiful rainbow feathers. Now crows are black. So this is a story about what happened to Rainbow Crow. And what happened to Rainbow Crow is one day all the animals were just used to warm weather, but then it started to snow. And it kept snowing, and it kept snowing, and it kept snowing. And finally the animals thought somebody's got to go up into the sky and ask the Great Spirit to make it stop snowing. And that somebody was Crow. So Rainbow Crow went to help all of the other animals in the forest. And the stories, what happened to the crow when they were up in the sky and what happens when they came back. Now this one, Little Star, she's a star and she likes to eat cake, so that seemed perfect for Bake-A-Tale. She helps her mother to make a giant mooncake, and then they put it in the oven. Always better to bake together, so Mama has to put it in the oven, and then Mama hangs it up in the sky, and she says to Little Star, you'll remember not to eat this mooncake, right? And Little Star says, oh yes, I'll remember. But, oh, in the middle of the night, she can smell that mooncake, and it smells so good, and maybe her mother wouldn't notice if she just took a little taste. And then maybe the next night, if she took another little taste. If you check this book out from the library, you can find out what happened from all those little tastes. And I thought that would be a good book since we were talking about stars. So there are two ways to make stars. You can hang them up. Here's another way to make a star, and this is made out of drinking straws. So you can make a star that way. And this one is just kind of, it's a little out of control here. It is a paper chain sculpture, and you can make one of these too, and it's going to be absolutely however you want it. One of a kind artwork with paper, and you can use rainbow colors if you would like. But to make these rainbow cookies, these rainbow shortbread cookies, there's a recipe in the kit, and it only calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar. And usually I don't like things to be too sweet, but I thought it needed a little bit more sugar. So I think I ended up with maybe 3/8. Put another 1/8 of a cup in. So I would say you can go up to a 1/2 cup with the sugar. And there's no egg in this recipe, so you can taste it if you want and think, maybe I'd like it a little bit sweeter. But you will make the dough, and then you will divide it into 6 little balls or however many colors you want. And let me tell you, if you just mix it with your fingers without putting on rubber gloves, because you forgot to put on the rubber gloves, your hands are going to be all rainbow colored. But if you don't want them to be rainbow colored, obviously it wears off eventually, but because food coloring is what you'll use to color the dough with. But there'll be some plastic gloves in your kit too, so you can wash them, and then you can use them to take one of those balls of dough, put in a few drops of food coloring, and just smush it all around, smush it all around, smush it all around, so you get it to be the color that you like. And then you'll have a ball of dough in different colors, and then you kind of roll it out so it'll be kind of a tube, kind of a snake shape. You'll line them all up, and then you'll sort of smush them together. You'll line them up on a piece of plastic wrap. You'll put another piece of plastic wrap on top, and you'll go back and forth with a rolling pin, and that'll smush them together and kind of seal them. And then you take that whole thing, you can put it on a tray or on a plate or something, and then you freeze it for a while. So this dough does require it to be frozen or refrigerated. Either put it in the freezer or the refrigerator, so it keeps its shape, and so it'll have these really pretty colors. And when you bring it out of the freezer the first time, that's when you can take the plastic off and decide what kind of cookie cutter you want to use. If you have a star, you can make stars. You can make bigger stars. You can make little stars. Up to you. So however big your cookie cutter is will depend on how many cookies you get. And obviously, like little stars, Mama, an adult has to put them in and out of the oven, but kind of fun to make. So if you want to color your world with some cookies, this is a good recipe to try. This book, A Big Mooncake for Little Star, was written and illustrated by Grace Lynn. And she's called Little Star because she lives up in the sky, in the night sky. And whoops, can you see she's got stars all over her pajamas like that? So that's why I thought this book would be good for making stars. And this one that's made from straws, I wish that I could tell you here's exactly how to do it, but I can't. I just kind of got it by accident. So I'm just going to tell you, do your best, friends, and keep bending it and making V's out of it. And then maybe you'll get something that looks like a star too. I hope so. In the kit, there will be 5 straws, and I just gave you the kind that we had at the library. If you have more straws at home like these ones, where it's got this bendy part in it, you could substitute those if you wanted to. If you had 5 like these, those do the turns, the curves well, like this. But you can make it with the other one too. You just have to bend a little bit harder. And these blue straws are actually a little bit longer than the bendy ones. So you'll have to take some scissors and snip them off and make them so they're going to be closer to the same size. You'll want your 5 straws to be about the same size. And how you connect them together, you'll take one of them and you kind of smush together the end, sort of fold it in on itself, smush it together, and then stick it into the end of another straw and stick it in kind of as far as it'll go, because if it's too close to the end, it'll just pop out again. And then once you've done that, you'll attach another straw and another straw, so you'll have all 5 in a row, and then you just kind of play with them, bend them around, see how you can do it. And when you've gotten it to be a straw shape, then you will put the last one onto, you'll connect it. Connect the last 2 straws so you'll have them all attached together, and then you want them to stay together. So you'll take the yarn that's in the kit and wrap it around where the stars, where the lines come together. So this string is holding, the yarn rather is holding these straws together here, these 2 straws together here, these 2 here. You'll just wrap it around. I wrapped around one way and then wrapped it around another way, and then tied it into a little knot to tie it off and cut it, and then took a piece to hang it up. If you wanted, this is plastic, they're plastic straws, so you could probably even hang this outside if you wanted to hang it from your porch or something and do it that way. And it's just going to be a nice little colorful summer decoration to help you color your world. Now this is also very colorful, and this one might be a good thing to do if you're watching TV or watching a movie or something. Maybe it's a movie that you've seen before, because you need to cut a lot of strips here. And if you actually have a paper cutter at home, it will make it easier. But if you don't, that is okay. You get to decide how you want to do this. There will be some white construction paper and some colored construction paper in your kit. And I use the white for the top. I was thinking kind of clouds. So I made a chain of the white ones first. I made them a little thicker on the ends in case I wanted to hang it up somewhere. And then I hung the other ones down from that. If you wanted to make, I don't know, like a person from your different rings, you could do that. You could try to make, a marionette puppet. You can do it however you want. This one, it goes down like this, and then they're all attached to each other at the bottom. Now, this one I would not recommend hanging outside, but you could hang it on your wall, or you could hang it over a door or something and color your world inside. But if you haven't done these before, you'll just cut lots of strips. These ones, the construction paper is 9 inches wide by 12 inches long, and I cut it along the width. So all of my strips were 9 inches long, and I got 12 of them because it's 12 this way, and I cut 12 of them, and they were all 9 inches long. And then you'll take the glue stick in your kit, you'll put some glue on one end, and then hold it together, wrap the paper around like that, and that's how you'll just attach them together. And then you can attach some links to another. You can do it in colors like this. If you want it to be rainbow colors, you can mix and match. As I said, this is absolutely positively your own artwork. It's nobody else's is going to look just like yours. You can make it however you would like, and we would love to see it. If you do this paper art, this rainbow paper chain art, please, take a picture, send it to us, bring it in and show us when you're in the library, or you can even bring your whole paper chain in if you want to, see how long it gets. Now, the other thing is going to be these kind of stars. And this one, if you hang it up on a window, the light will shine through a little bit. This one's done a little differently. So a little bit of light will shine through, but not quite as much. But in the kit will be a piece of black construction paper with star outlines on. So here's one and here is one. There's 2 on there. There's also going to be 2 squares of contact paper. It's not on this one, but it is on this one. Can you see how it's reflecting the light a little bit? This one's got the plastic on. There's only the two pieces are enough to do the front and back of one star. So you can cut out both of these, and then you can see which one you like better. This one, the shapes aren't quite as even, so I used this one for the plastic. But you can decide how you want to do it. And if you don't want to use the plastic for that, that's okay too. It'll make a sun catcher, but you don't need to use the plastic if you don't want to. But if you do choose to use it, along one of the ends, there's a little strip where you can just there's the paper on the back, and the sticky part is stuck to the paper. Once you've peeled it off, it is going to be sticky. It is going to be super sticky. You're going to put it so it's super sticky side up, and then you will carefully put your black star on top of it But let me tell you, once you put it down, it's not going to come up again. You can't say, oh, I changed my mind. I want it someplace else. It's going to be stuck in place. If you try to take it off, it's just going to tear. But that's okay. Your star will just look like it's twinkling or something. If it's moving a little bit, that's fine. You can make your artwork however you would like. In the kit, there will be 2 pieces of origami paper. And if you would like, you can just put that on the back of the star, or there will be some little squares of tissue paper. And if you would like, you can put that back on the back of the star. So this has 1 piece, and this has a lot of little pieces. The star is 6.5 inches across, and the origami paper is only 6. So it's going to be a little bit smaller than your star. So you'll kind of have to maybe wiggle it around so you can get the most of the star on as possible. But then there's going to be extra around the star. So you can cut a little piece of this and just tape it onto the top to reinforce this. But once you have cut these out, you want to have these openings in. And it's going to be a little tricky, but it's a little tricky because the star isn't exactly symmetrical, so it's a little bit tricky to fold it. If you want to fold it, if you want to try to make the star shape in the middle, like I had, you can carefully fold this. This is pink, but the ones that you're going to cut out are going to be the black ones. So you fold it in half and line it up as carefully as you can. You want all the points to match. So these points are going to match these points, and this one's going to be in half. Once you've done that, if you want to fold it again, you can fold the bottom up to the top. So these points are all together. And then you can take this sticky up one and fold that down. And then if you want to fold it even more and cut that way, it's like cutting a paper snowflake, if you've ever done those. If you fold it one more time, so it's a star, you fold it in half, so some of the points are meeting, and then one point is folded in half. Once you've done that, you can fold it in half. Like this. And then fold this extra little piece down like this, and then fold it one more time in half like that. If you snip off the end here, this is going to be the center of your star. If you do that, you're going to end up with this star shape. It's like magic, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. You can make your folds not quite as tricky, but all you have to do then is fold it in half, and then wherever you fold it again, and then just cut parts. You don't want to cut too close to the ends because then you'll lose your points on the end. But once you've folded it together, you can fold each point together and then take a little snip out of it. So I just folded this point, cut a little triangle, cut a little shape to be a heart, and fold this part together. Just keep cutting. So just keep folding the points and cut things. And then you can do these longer folds. You can do these shorter folds. It's up to you. Just open it up. And if you think, I'd like to have a few more holes, just keep cutting. If you accidentally snip something that you don't want to, you can either tape it back together, or remember the super sticky stuff? The super sticky stuff, if you line it up on there, it'll push it back together. Once you've cut out all of the holes that you want on your black paper, that's when you're going to put it down on the super sticky part of this contact paper. And then if you would like to put the origami paper on top, you'll lay it on the top best you can. Like I said, it's not going to fit quite exactly. It's a little bit smaller than the star. Put it on as best you can, and then you can always cut some more parts off and put those on too. And then after you've done that, you're going to put the other piece of contact paper, peel the back off, put that super sticky side on top. So you've got your star and your paper sandwiched in between the two sticky parts. If you're going to do it this way, You put the star with the holes cut out on the super sticky paper, and then you can put little squares of tissue paper on it. You can cut them. Some of mine overlap, so it just makes the colors look a little bit different. So you can do this however you want. If you want to cut each one, trim down, that's okay. You can do it however you like. But then once you've put the other one on top, and remember, you're not going to be able to move it once they're together. See, mine looked kind of like this. Can you see where the star shape was? Once you've cut it out, it doesn't matter if your papers go past the star shape, because then you're going to trim it. So you'll just trim around and leave enough. You don't want to trim too close because you want it to still the two sticky parts to be sealed together. So you can trim a little bit outside your star, but then they're going to be all stuck together. And then you can stick this on a window if you'd like. You could put this one with the plastic outside if you wanted to put it on your window outside. Up to you. You can color your world however you would like. So friends, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me for Bake-A-Tale. We'll have the kits available in the children's room for as long as supplies last. So you can come in and get yours or call and reserve however many you need. And I want to thank you for watching. And I want to tell you, if you make anything or if you do any of these crafts, please come in and tell us, or, you can fill out the chance to win the mystery box prize for going to a program, for doing this program. So if you make 3 crafts, heck, you can put in 3 times. You're doing a lot of work here. If you bake the cookies, I'd love to see that. You can count that for participating in a program, and you can fill out the mystery box prize when you come in, or you can email and we'll fill it out for you. But thank you very much, friends, and I'll see you next time with the next Bake-A-Tale. Thank you. Happy reading, happy baking, happy crafting, everybody. Bye.